Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel BBTechHub. So today I'm here with new topic of IP address. So till now whatever I have discussed, that was the concept, and from today onwards we will see how to implement the IP address to a host so that it can work in the network properly. Okay. So that is the reason what happens in our system. We get a concept that's called the TCP IP. What we call it is called as TCP IP properties. So whenever we are going to configure a system for the network, we have to go to TCP IP properties. Okay. And here we set the IP address for that host. Now here is the question. What is this TCP IP properties? This is the very vital thing. TCP means Transmission Control Protocol and IP means Internet Protocol. Actually, what happens, everyone? You see, we know the computer is made up of hardware. And to run this hardware, we need operating system. I think you all know we need operating system. And that's why we call this what operating system? Operating system is a system software. And this software providing the interface, connectivity between hardware devices and the user. If there is no operating system, we cannot access the computer hardware because we cannot say keyboard, you work, mouse, you work. If the human being cannot talk with the hardware devices. Okay. So who can talk with the hardware devices? Who knows the behavior of the hardware devices? One and only operating system knows the behavior of the hardware devices. Okay. And what happens the same way, the moment we are going to manage the network of a computer, that time also we have to take the help of the operating system. So this operating system performs several tasks. Actually every task is performed by the operating system. It does the process management, it does the memory management, it does the input-output management, it does the processor scheduling, it does the network management. That means you see operating system is responsible for managing the whole network process of a computer. Now the question, how it is managed? Actually, operating system is nothing but the collection of files which are full of programming. And here the programmer is mentioning in the program which command, which instruction is responsible for which type of task. Similar way, there is the part that is we called as the TCP IP properties. This part of the operating system is solely responsible for managing the network part of a system. Am I clear? For a host, what happens? The TCP IP properties part of operating system is solely responsible for managing the network part of that system. Whenever we want our system should be enabled for the networking, so please remember, we have to provide all these parameters correctly to the system so that it can work properly whenever connected to the network. Am I clear? So TCP IP properties means this is the, you can say it is the one type of programming of our operating system for the network purpose of a computer. Am I clear? Not only computer, any host. So whenever we want our system should function properly in the network, everybody remember we have to fill up all the parameters of this TCP IP properties so that our computer can run properly in a network. So what are the parameters? These 5 are very important parameters. You have to assign IP address. You have to assign proper subnet mask. You have to assign the default gateway. You have to assign the preferred DNS, and you have to assign the alternate DNS also. So now, next 1 to 2 videos, I will discuss each and every parameter in detail. Okay. So now, I'm going to the first parameter, that is IP address. So you can see how we can check this TCP IP properties. So here you see what happens. How to check? We can go Windows R ncpa.cpl. You see the Ethernet is coming, right click on Ethernet, then go to the properties, and you see everybody. Can you see Internet Protocol version 4, TCP IP v4 and TCP IP v6? So I'm not bothered about the TCP IP v6 right now. So now I'm going for the TCP IP v4, and then again go to properties, and you can see all the 5 parameters are there. Have you seen everyone? You can see IP address, subnet marks, default gateway, preferred DNS, alternate. But you see over here, this section is disabled. If I do the mouse click also, it is not responding. Why? Because here are 2 options is there. Whenever we are assigning IP address to a system, we can go for the static assignment or we can go for the dynamic assignment of IP. If I click here in this checkbox, you see now it is activated. All these boxes are activated. Yes or no? That means we can assign now the manually IP address. That means right now we can assign the manual IP address or manual settings over here. But the moment I click this button, obtain an IP address automatically, you see all sections are disabled. That means right now we are requesting to a server for assigning these 5 parameters. Okay, everyone? Am I clear? So we can go like that and check the TCP IP properties. Okay. Now see how we can assign. So always remember there are 2 ways we can assign IP address to a system. One is the statically, another is dynamic. What do you mean by static IP address? The IP address which is assigned by the administrator manually is called a static IP address. And why it is called static? Because these IP address will not remain unchanged. That means it will remain unchanged. ये तब तक same रहेगा until the admin changing the IP address again. That means what it is saying, ये IP तब तक fixed रहेगा जब तक दोबारा admin इसको change नहीं कर रहे हैं. That's why इसको हम लोग क्या IP address कहते हैं? Static IP address. And remember, ये इसको assign कौन करते हैं? It is assigned by the administrator, and कैसे करके assign होता है? Manual. Am I clear? So that's why I showed you the 2 buttons in the TCP IP properties. One is obtain and another is IP. The moment you check this lower radio button, that means we are assigning static IP. And the moment you are checking the upper radio button, means we are asking to a server for IP address. Is it clear? Now, do you know? So let's see, once we assign an IP address to the system, how to do. Windows R ncpa.cpl. Then right click on Ethernet, go to the properties, select TCP IP v4, go to the properties, and you see right now it is selected in the dynamic mode, but I want to assign the static IP address. Suppose I'm assigning 10.1.1.1, and you just click over here. Later on, I will cover up every parameters, but right now for this moment, just to remember, after assigning IP address, we have to make a single click in this section. One value will automatically generated. Okay, and that is very much compulsory. Later on, I will discuss in the separate video. I will come with the subnet. Then okay. Now, which command we are using to check IP address? You see Windows R, go to the CMD. I am in the CMD and I will write a command that IP config. Hello everybody, can you see which address I have received? This address I have received because I have assigned this address manually. Is it clear? So which command we are using to check the IP address? The command is IP config. So never forget, we assign the, we use the command that is called the IP config. Through this command, we can get the IP address of a system. Okay. Now, a situation is giving you, you are in an office and there are two departments are there. Here is the 500 computers, here is 200 computers. And one day you have been assigned to assign this 700 system the TCP IP parameters. You have to assign. That means what? आपके पास 700 कंप्यूटर्स है जिसमें आपको टीसीपी आईपी का पांचों पैरामीटर करेक्टली देना है नेटवर्क को रनिंग करने के लिए विद इन 2 hours. So my dear, be carefully try to understand the assignment. One day your IT head is saying you have 2 hours time. There are two departments, one is having 500 system, another having 200 system. आपको हर एक सिस्टम में जाके ये पांचों पैरामीटर देना है, मतलब आईपी देना है, सबनेट मार्क्स देना है, यू हैव टू डिफॉल्ट गेटवे देना है, आपको प्रेफर्ड डीएनएस देना, आपको अल्टरनेट डीएनएस देना है. Now it's a question, is it feasible? Do you think it is possible? What do you say? Yes, it is possible. I am not saying it is not possible, but it will take lots of time. And do you feel you have that much time in an urgency? So this is this thing you have to observe. Whenever there is a question of assigning static IP address, there are several challenges we face. What? So first, it is a time-consuming process. It will take time. Although you take time, then also it may be a typing mistake. Maybe instead of writing 10.1.1.10, you are writing 10.1.1. It's a human being. We can do the mistake. Wrong IP address assignment. Maybe the host need 10. I am giving 1. Maybe by mistake, instead of 10 network, I am assigning 11. It may happen because we are the human being. We cannot avoid the human errors. It happens. Or maybe it may happen that two computers you are giving same IP, what we call, that is called the IP conflict. What is IP conflict? More than one host having same IP address results IP conflict. What IP conflict? Again I am saying, जब एक से ज्यादा devices को same IP address हो जाता है, that moment we call this as IP conflict. And next is the security issue. Why? Because a host having a fixed IP for a long time easy to track for the hackers, because it's a fixed location, fixed IP, then hacker very easily can track this IP address. Is it clear? So these are the challenges. I will not say the problem. These are the challenges an IT person face in the organization if they go for the static IP address for a large network. If it is a small network, it's okay. But when it is a large network, I think practically static IP address assignment is not feasible. So then industry go for the dynamic IP. That means the IP address which assigned by the DHCP server automatically. You see the new term is in picture, that is DHCP. So the IP address which is assigned by the DHCP server automatically is called as dynamic IP address. Is it? So everyone, in the next video, I am coming with this DHCP servers dynamic IP assignment. Okay. So everyone follow all these videos. In the next video, you will get the clarity about how dynamic IP address is assigned. Up to this much. Okay. Thank you.